A fun time is being had by all inside the Maravich Assembly Center. It's the House versus the Senate and their ringers in this annual charity basketball game.
Welcome to HoopLA 2019.
From the campus of Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it's HoopLA 2019, the annual charity basketball game between the House and Senate. Money raised from this event every year goes to refurbishing an outdoor basketball court. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire. It's always fun to bring this game to you. The action on the court isn't always exciting, but it is for a good cause as they do raise money, as I mentioned, to refurbish an outdoor basketball court. And this year, Jason, term limits are a big factor because for a lot of these guys, this is their last chance at glory, but they should be fresh. We only had a 2-month session instead of 3 special sessions like we did last year.
No, that's right, but the tensions still get high in that building, and this is a great place for them to come and let loose a little bit. As you mentioned, will be some of them in their last game. Obviously, the House will have a bunch of players and fresh bodies. The Senate, not so many, so it's always a battle of if the Senate can stay in a good enough condition down the stretch.
And our other individuals that are involved in this broadcast, they are Representative Joe Marino and also Representative Julie Emerson, and they are standing by with one of the main persons involved in this event every year, and that's State Treasurer John Schroeder. Let's send it over to them.
Welcome to HoopLA 2019. We're here with our State Treasurer, Treasurer Schroeder. Tell us about the event. How many years has this been going on?
Well, this is our 11th year of having the event this way. It's actually the 17th year that the basketball game was actually played. There was a year when we first got here in my first term 12 years ago where it wasn't played. They talked to me about doing it, and here we are.
All right, now Treasurer Schroeder is an alumni of the House. So what's your prediction for this game?
Well, we haven't been on a very good run lately. I think we've lost 3 out of the last 4, so they better get on it. I want to end my first 12 years on a good note.
So what is the reason that you're not dressed out playing with the House tonight?
Well, old age, about 20 pounds on a campaign trail and a bad back. But you know, this is a great event. You know, we call it HoopLA. You know, Representative, we have now built 11 courts with money that we raised from this event. It's really turned out to be a great project. We partner with the Pelicans, and they've been here. It was the Hornets first, now the Pelicans, and Cox Communications been with us since day one. So, you know, people don't know. I mean, there's other things legislators do other than just legislate, and this is just a good way to get the Senate together with the House, sort of break a little tension. But you know, the money we raise goes to a great cause.
Do you think there's going to be any injuries this year?
Oh, there's always a couple little injuries. They can't help it.
All right. Thank you, Treasurer Schroeder. We appreciate it. We appreciate everything you've done for this game. Jeff, back to you.
All right, our sideline correspondents, Greg Marino and Julie Emerson, will be hearing from them throughout the contest. Let's take a break. When we come back, tip-off from the Maravich Center, the House versus the Senate, HoopLA 2019. Hello, everyone. It's time for tip-off of HoopLA 2019. Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire. And again, we'll be hearing throughout the broadcast from State Representative Greg Marino and Julie Emerson. And the Senate has won the tip. They are in the gray T-shirts. The House in the red T-shirts. The House leads the all-time series 10-6. Mike Waldsworth, one of those term-limited lawmakers we were just talking about. I think he's played in all 16 of these.
He's been out here since the beginning and going back to run for clerk in Monroe.
an early steal, but a turnover back the other way, and then, a shot clock violation already?
Never hit the rim.
Well,
I guess Senator Ward didn't hear that. He played right through it.
All right, I don't think we normally have a shot clock. I think that was a technical difficulty. This is John Stefanowski from Crowley missing the shot from the outside.
Yeah, and Stefanski's one of the real workhorses for the house, and his first year was last year and had a good performance last year.
Ted James knocking it out of bounds. Rick Ward will inbound it.
And Rick Ward is the real key for the Senate team. He's the workhorse. He'll bang down there, and the house was already kind of joking. They know they need to try to rough him up a little bit.
Norby Chabert holding the basketball forever. There's a traveling call on Norby Chabert, the state senator from Lafourche.
Probably thinking if there's no traveling in the NBA, how's there traveling in this?
Pass down low, a little bit too high for Stefanski.
Yeah, Ted James a little jacked up there, a little excited, and just airmails this one. Boom, he had the right idea, but just a little high there. Maybe he thought Stefanski was going to go up there and dunk it.
All right, Rick Ward into the front court. Rick Ward will lose it, and then we have a blocking foul.
Yeah, and that's classic Rick Ward out here. He's going to take the ball, drive it hard to the goal, and try to pick up the foul. He's a pretty good free throw shooter, but you can see going in there like a freight train and drawing the foul there.
So Rick Ward will shoot a couple of free throws. HoopLA started in 2019 when the legislature teamed up with the New Orleans Hornets and Cox Communications, and they've been the two main sponsors since. 25 or so annual sponsors help raise about $38,000 per year to help underprivileged kids around Louisiana enjoy basketball courts. So over the time, they've raised $418,000, and they have been able to refurbish about a dozen courts around the state. Royce Duplessis missing the shot.
Yeah, it was good movement there. Good play drawn up there by the house, but just missed the open shot. Royce Duplessis is a new player this year out of the New Orleans area.
Little pass over here to Mills, Mike Walsworth, and then Ted James knocks it out of bounds.
Well, obviously trying to settle in here, just a 1-0 start and settle down and try to get some baskets.
Chabert shot short, and here comes the house on the run. Stefanski had the ball stripped, but goes to Blake Miguez. Stefanski shot off the glass, no good. Stefanski gets it again, and then he's hammered on the foul by Fred Mills. All right, let's send it over to our sideline correspondents, Joe Marino and Julie Emerson. They have the chairman of the very powerful House Ways and Means Committee standing with them.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Representative Neil Abramson, chairman of Ways and Means, in his last year. 3 more days in the House. How do you feel about that?
I feel excited to be here. 3 more days is a little bittersweet.
Excited to be playing against the Senate, or do they cheat a lot?
The Senate always cheats. They think different rules always apply to them where they're here at the Capitol, but we're going to take them anyway.
That's exactly right. So are any of them already illegal players, you can tell?
Anybody that scores points for them is automatically illegal.
They have free agent players every year, right?
They can't score without being illegal. Look, we've been playing for 5 minutes and we got 1 point. They're about to put me in. We're going to lower the goals to 8 feet, and we're going to be ready to roll.
And apparently we're not calling fouls because I'm watching like nothing but fouls by Norby Chabert.
No, that's the safest place to be is on the sideline, based on the way the Senate.
Well, he may foul you on the sideline too. You got to back up.
Yeah, I told him that he only gets 2 fouls because his 2 fouls are like 10 for everybody else.
Good. Okay, Jeff.
Thanks a lot, Representative Marino and Representative Emerson and Neil Abramson. A lot of quality work he has done during his 12 years in the state legislature.
Yeah, I've gotten to know Chairman Abramson very well. Obviously, being a tax guy, that's where a lot of the bills I track and follow go through. And I tell you, he's done a yeoman's job in Ways and Means. Shout out to him in his last year. And last couple days as chairman, but having to piece together the budget and come up with the right tax aspects to do that is not an easy job.
As I mentioned, there's only 39 senators, so you're going to see some non-senators out there. And F. King Alexander, the president of LSU, playing for the Senate. We also have Matthew Block is out there as well.
And then I think we got a ringer checking in that nobody's really figured out who he is yet, and I think the House has been scouting him and trying to wonder where they got him from.
Well, they've just put Ted James on him, their best defensive player. Stefanski going to the rim, and he'll go to the line and shoot a couple free throws.
That's a good hard move. That's the way you do it. A taller guy, you drive it right into his chest and try to get him to commit a foul.
Big boy going to play when everybody else played. That was the rule.
Representative Stefanski representing Crowley, Acadia Parish.
And they got in a little squabble here. Coach Clarence Russ is out here wanting to know, wait, who's the secret agent here?
And Stefanski with the free throw, and the House is finally on the board. We're still waiting for our first field goal here, Jason. We might be still waiting.
Yeah.
It's almost like that first bill to finally get to the governor's desk. And once you get one there, they start flowing through.
Or at least you hope.
F. King Alexander will bring it up with Representative Edmund Jordan on him. Works around the screen. A shot there that's short by F. King. Senator Walsworth, the offensive putback off the glass and no good. Ted James loses it. And Bradley Peacock from Northwest Louisiana with the ball. Rick Ward shot from way downtown. No good. Ted James skies for the rebound.
Well, Ted James is one of the workhorses for the House. He's now fired up a three and a little off there.
Blake Miguez not trying to pass it off, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, it's been a rough start. You know, they've had a few opportunities where they run some good sets, just haven't been able to convert shooting.
And another turnover as Ted James steals it. So, Representative Jordan loses it in the lane. Stefanski eyes his shot, no good, and Rick Ward the rebound. Let's send it back over to our sideline correspondent, State Representative Julie Emerson and Joe Marino. Guys, take it away.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. We're here with Representative Ryan Boudin. How do you say that now?
Bouret.
Bouret.
You one of the new guys, right?
Yes, sir. Sure am.
You seem to be tall. Why are you not playing right now?
They seen my hook shot.
And how many nicknames do you have so far?
We're up to 3 officially.
And they are?
Bouret, Boudin, and Barbecue.
I like barbecue. That's a good one.
I represent the Boudin capital of the world, so I'm a little bit offended that you get to be Representative Boudin.
You can thank Andy Anders. The Dean of the House gave me that name in Ad Committee, so it's stuck on the House. And on the Senate side, it's Bouret every time it goes to the well, so it's all right.
Now, Representative Boriak, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of players on the Senate team that are not senators. How do you feel about that?
You know, I expect nothing less. What I've told, we were the lower chamber, and I find that they don't follow the rules on anything, including the basketball court.
Now,
It's a good observation.
When we see you go in there now, do you have any experience? Have you played?
Barefooted on dirt courts, I'll smoke anybody. With shoes on, we're not too sure.
All right, well, we play with shoes here in the city, so I'm sorry that's going to mess up your game, but
That's it.
good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Let's take a break. The House leading the Senate 2-1 in a low-scoring basketball game. We'll be back after this. HoopLA 2019, the House and Senate in this annual charity basketball game. The Pelicans are a major sponsor of this event. Let's send it over to State Treasurer John Schroeder, who's got a very special guest.
Coach, we want to welcome you back to the HoopLA 2019. I know this isn't your first visit, but just so the listeners know, you're the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. You've had a pretty extensive career around the NBA, but we sure are happy to have you in New Orleans. How's everything going these days?
It's great. You know, we're in a great situation. I mean, obviously, our whole organization is on the upswing, winning the lottery and being able to have the first pick in the NBA draft. Obviously, we're going to get a great player that's going to help our franchise immediately, so we're excited about that.
Coach, New Orleans has to be a buzz. I mean, this doesn't happen. I mean, and the chances, we were talking at dinner earlier, the chances of you getting the first pick was almost impossible. Tell us about that.
Well, we had a 6% chance at winning. Actually, what happens is a weighted lottery, so there's 1,001 different combinations. We only had 40 of those combinations. So the fact that they chose our number just tells me that we're headed in the right direction.
Well, I could just imagine what you were going through that whole time as you watched the whole thing transpire. So it's exciting for the city. I know it's certainly exciting for the Pelicans. But let's talk about this event a little bit. Yeah. This is your first visit, Coach. We've now done 11 courts with the Pelicans, and we started with the Hornets. So you've been to a couple of those courts. Tell the listeners what exactly these courts are.
Well, what you do is they go in and we refurbish, a playground court somewhere in a neighborhood. And the thing that I've noticed about it is that they end up being beautiful basketball courts. Our logo is attached to it, but we go back afterwards and you check it a few months, 6 months, even a year from now, and you can see what great care that they've taken care of it. So it tells me the pride that they have in having that court in their community and how they take care of it.
Well, Coach, you've been a great ambassador. I'm certainly happy that you're in New Orleans. We have another ribbon cutting coming up in New Orleans East in a couple weeks, and do you want to have some prediction about who the first round draft pick's going to be for the Pelicans this year?
I wish I could talk about that, but I can't. But I would say that there's a lot of people out there that have a very good guess.
We're looking forward to that draft, Coach, and good luck to the Pelicans too.
I really appreciate that, and it's great being a part of this. This is something that you guys do that I just tell you it's a great event, and the dogs are really good here. Okay.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming out again too. Really appreciate your participation.
I really appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Well, as State Treasurer John Schroeder said, an absolute class act there, and Coach Alvin Gentry. And it certainly does seem like the franchise is moving in the right direction. Some bright days ahead for the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean, how exciting just for the program, for the city to get the #1 pick. And what did we go in there with, like less than a 6% chance, and boom.
Well, what are the chances we're going to see more than 10 points scored in this game, Jason?
Right now, people may have a bet on the under.
Well, we don't have sports betting in Louisiana this year.
That's a good, but that has been hotly debated.
And doesn't seem like any fantasy sports either going to be happening. So
yeah.
All right, Blake Miguez can't knock down the free throws, but he gets his own rebound. And in the lane and scores. Blake Miguez.
Good looking, and he's one of the horses for the house side. Expect him to get a lot of playing time. And Blake Miguez is known for debating gun bills, and he's had a couple of those this session as well. So
4-3 to House leads, and this was the player you were talking about, Cole Conrad from the Senate. Not sure what his connection is with the upper chamber, but let's take a look at this move by Blake Miguez.
He goes and gets his own rebound and drives it right in there on the big fella, Cole Conrad.
You only learned that on the courts on the Bayou.
Yeah, that's right.
And, look at this steal by Stefanski.
He should dunk this one, right?
He missed a layup. Aberson the rebound, but that should be traveling, and it is.
Oh, no.
Well, remember that play right there if the House loses by a point or two.
Yeah, well, and that's how it kind of came down last year. House had a chance to win it or something like that and missed it. And here you go, wide open. Not the clip he wants a replay of.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. F. King Alexander's shot no good, knocked out of bounds, and Ted James will have a timeout here. So 4-3 is still our score with just over 7 minutes left to go in this first half. We'll take a break. as the Pelicans dance team comes out to entertain the folks here inside the Maravich Center. We'll have more when we come back. It's HoopLA 2019. The Pelicans dance team entertaining the folks here. HoopLA 2019, Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQueer, bringing you all the action from this annual basketball game between the House and the Senate. The House again leads the all-time series 10-6. As money being raised here today to refurbish a outdoor basketball court. And we'll send it back over to our sideline correspondents, Julie Emerson and Joe Marino, with State Senator Fred Mills.
Senator Fred Mills, you're playing with the Senate today, right?
I'm trying.
So all your players are senators, right?
Well, we have a few people that we've kind of drafted to be senators.
Yeah,
tonight.
free agents.
So we don't have as many numbers. We just
Senator Mills, the score is 4-3.
A defensive battle.
What's up with that?
It's a defensive classic. You know, you have to appreciate defense.
Kind of like the Super Bowl?
Defense wins championships.
And just like in the legislature, the Senate has its own rules, right? So you guys can bring in extra players that have never been on the Senate floor.
There's a lot of rules, we just don't follow them.
I see.
Would y'all say that?
Right. So why are you not in there right now playing in this game?
Well, just 5 can play at a time, so they're saving me for the end if they need me. You know, that's. I'm an experienced bench warmer. I've been warming the bench since high school, so I'm really good at it.
Can you sink those 3-pointers?
No, oh no, I can't even see that far with the cataracts I have.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I need binoculars to see it far.
All right, well, just before the game's over, y'all ease up on the cheating, okay?
We can't promise that. Y'all have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Mills. Back to you, Jeff.
Neil Aberson has knocked down a couple of jump shots, and the House now leads it by 4. Here he goes again. Oh, in and out. Rick Ward, the rebound.
Yeah, Chairman Aberson got hot, and you know, you may remember he was a college athlete at Dartmouth, so you know, he's got some athleticism in the genes there. Played college football.
Long shot from Rick Ward, and he knocked that down from Port Allen, his home district.
Yeah.
And 9-8.
Starting to heat up here.
Yeah, how about that? Kind of like the session, always off to a bit of a slow start.
That's exactly.
Aberson really trying to. The heat check has been cool pretty quickly.
I was talking to him, and he says he's just coming out cold. He hadn't had a chance to go to any of the practices. They try to do some practices here, both the House and the Senate, to get prepared for this game, and trying to get numbers out there is tough. But here's a good look at the form here by Chairman Neil Aberson. Good form and splash.
Rick Ward off the glass and in. And the Senate grabs the lead by 2.
And you can see his expression there. He did not call glass, but nevertheless, his 3 points.
Cameron Henry, the chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, an air ball there. Over to Ted James now. They swing it around. Stefanski's baseline jumper is no good. Cameron Henry fighting for that rebound. How about that? Like fighting for every penny in that budget bill.
Yes, and he's good at that.
Aberson's shot was blocked by Cole Conrad. And F. King Alexander comes up with the loose basketball.
And one of the things you'll notice, the House will keep shuffling players out, so it's a little bit harder to get into the rhythm, whereas the Senate's going to see most of the same players on the court, so they can begin to develop a rhythm throughout the game.
Conrad gets the rebound, and it's taken away from him by Stefanski. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the House. All right, let's send it back over again to our sideline correspondents here tonight. Julie Emerson and Joe Marino with State Representative Edmund Jordan.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Jeff. We're here with Representative Edmund Jordan from Beruli, right?
That's correct.
All right. Edmund.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not a very good game. You've been out there. What's going on?
It's just a sloppy game right now. You know what? They're packing into a zone right now, and so we got to shoot over it. So Neil has been doing that. He's been able to shoot over it, but we got to get more movement on offense. But defense is pretty solid. We're playing well on defense. We just need to do a better job on offense right
So
now.
who is the talent on our team? Tell us what's going on out there.
Well, look, Neil is the talent right now. Stefanski is pretty good. We got some young guys. We got the younger guys. We should be able to run with them, but we're just not taking our time on offense right now.
Can y'all take out that guy on the Senate that's not really in the Senate? Can y'all take him out?
Look, I don't think he's going to be a big factor at the end of the day. I think we're going to be able to neutralize him, and we'll be all right at the end of the day. We're going to bring the trophy home.
I was going to say, we're not leaving here tonight without that trophy.
We're taking the trophy home.
Can we do like a point of order and like take him off the court or something? I mean, come on.
I got enough confidence in our team. We're going to be able to take this trophy home with him on the floor.
We can beat the cheaters.
Yeah. I'm not going to call them cheaters, but look, we're going to beat them regardless.
All right, thank you, Representative Jordan. Jeff,
it.
Jason, back to you.
Thanks.
All right, Julie, thanks a lot to Representative Edmund Jordan from across the river in Bruley. Scoring has fallen off here a little bit. Senate up by 4, 13-9. Cameron Henry nearly traveled. Stefanski's got a wide open shot here. Instead, he goes down low to Miguez outside of Cameron Henry, who misses the jumper. Miguez the rebound. Miguez unable to get the shot to fall. And then there's a out of bounds is the House.
Boriak stepped out of bounds. It'll go back to the Senate. And, you know, we're kind of in another one of those little cold spells where shots just have stopped falling. I think fatigue is setting in. I saw Senator Rick Ward check himself out. He was getting a little tired. And see if they can begin to put some rhythm back together here. Minute 30 left.
F. King Alexander playing on his home gym. Plays a lot of Newton basketball games here. Rick Ward looking baseline. Among the trees, can't get it to fall though, out of bounds, and Senate will keep it, I believe. Nope, they're going to say house basketball. Neil Aberson back into the game.
Yeah, got to get your hot hand back in and try to see if you can tie this game up.
Foul called.
And you see they keep a running clock except for free throws.
All right, so Senate gets the ball.
They got 44 seconds here, so they got to push it here, get into their set. Obviously, they'd like to get the last shot, being up 13-9. That's a pretty good lead in this game.
F. King Alexander's shot is out off the back iron, and then the rebound taken by Stefanski under 30 seconds to go. The bounce pass up to Aberson, off the glass, no good. Rebound taken by Rick Ward. 20 seconds here from the Senate as they look to expand their 4-point lead. Stolen, great steal by Cameron Henry. How about that move there? Now Neil Abramson with 10 on the clock. Free throw line jumper, knocked it down.
Chairman Abramson is looking good, man. He is the hot hand. You got a majority of the points there for the House.
At the buzzer, off the glass and rim, and no good. And the Senate, after 20 minutes of action inside the Maravich Center, leading the lower chamber 13-11. When we come back, we will talk to the new Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations for the Pelicans, David Griffin. Stay tuned for that. Halftime of HoopLA 2019, the annual charity basketball game between the Senate and the House. Senate leading it 13-11 despite the hot shooting from Neil Abramson. As we mentioned earlier, the Pelicans are such a big part of this event, and there is a new person in charge of basketball operations. And to meet him, let's send it over to the State Treasurer, John Schroeder.
Well, we've had a lot of action tonight. We're at halftime, but I want to introduce the new Executive Vice President of the basketball operations for the Pelicans. And David, welcome to Louisiana. Welcome to Baton Rouge. What do you think about the first half of this great basketball game?
Yeah, John, thanks for having us. Obviously, this has turned into a shootout between Representative Aberson and Senator Ward. And I think the thing that's going to go unnoticed in the box score, the best player on the court right now feels to me like
That's the man right there.
it feels to me like it's President Alexander from LSU.
Yeah, the Senate always sort of plays with the roster a little bit to get in some ringers. So, well, Dave, tell us a little bit about yourself again, seriously. You know, there's a lot of excitement right now in New Orleans with you coming on board. You're bringing some other folks with you. I mean, I don't remember the last time I heard this kind of buzz about our team before. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, I think the thing that's exciting to me is there really hasn't been a version of the New Orleans Pelicans quite like this. Mrs. Benson is investing this process at the highest level. I didn't have to sit with her very long before I recognized I really wanted to be part of what she was building. I think Alvin Gentry likes to tease me and say I've been selective in the jobs that I would talk about.
Yeah.
And the reason is that I wanted to find my owner, somebody who believed like I do that the teams are sort of the sacred trust of the communities and the people that we represent, and Mrs. Benson gets that.
Well, you said something that's big here in Louisiana. You know, the passion for our sports is unbelievable, and if you haven't felt it yet, you're going to. So you're coming to a fan base that one understands sports, loves sports, and passionate about their team. So we're glad to have you. What can you tell us about the first round draft pick?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's exciting, obviously. You know, you win the lottery. It's a nice way to jumpstart what we're doing. And we kind of look at that as one success that we need to stack more upon. Signing Trajan Langdon is one of those things. Getting Aaron Nelson to run our medical crew is one of those things. We're going to keep trying to stack victories like that on top of themselves because no individual is going to be a savior here. It's going to be the collective in the way we build it.
And oh, by the way, you came before the draft pick, so you might just be our lucky charm.
I'll take that. If that's true, I'll take it.
Well, look, let's talk. How much do you know about this basketball game that's going on?
I know enough to know that I want President Alexander on my team if I'm trying to win.
Well, look, it's been a great partnership between the Pelicans, the Legislative Charity Fund. All this money is raised locally. There's no state taxes or no state dollars. It's all self-generated money by our sponsorships like the Pelicans, like Cox, and we have about 20 sponsors that we couldn't have this without them. We certainly enjoy your participation in the organization. So before I let you go, though, who you predict? The score's 13-11 at halftime. Senate's up by 2. Give me your prediction.
So I felt a little bit like the House had an advantage early on, but once I saw that the Senate somehow had a 21-year-old senator who's a long shot blocker, I'm going to stick with the youth of the Senate squad.
21. He looks like he's about 16.
But to the point you made about this event, what's really exciting about the event is because we're going to dedicate a court to the winner of this game, the lucky winner in his district is going to get a basketball court. It's really meaningful to us because I was a kid that benefited from a court like that. And I'm here now because the Phoenix Suns did things like that. So I'm really excited. If I can do what I'm doing now, whatever comes out of this court dedication can only be positive.
Well, we look forward to your partnership. We look forward to you really getting this team rolling. So welcome to Louisiana. Welcome to New Orleans.
Thank you so much,
You're
John.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff there from John Schroeder and David Griffin. When we come back, we hope to hear from the owner of the Pelicans, Gail Benson. It's halftime of HoopLA 2019. Halftime of HoopLA 2019. The Senate leading the House 13-11. We are here raising money to refurbish an outdoor basketball court. Couldn't do it without the help of the Pelicans. And let's send it back over to State Treasurer John Schroeder, who has another important member of the Pelicans team, and that's team president Dennis Lauscha.
Well, it's my honor to bring the guy himself, the president or the guru of everything with the Pelicans and the Saints, and Dennis. I'm real happy with the partnership that the legislature and the Legislative Charity Fund have teamed up with you guys. This is now the 7th year that you've been involved, and I can't tell you how great it's been to work with you guys.
Well, Treasurer, thank you very much. And I have to tell you, it's all about building basketball courts and building relations, to be perfectly honest with you. And, we're touched that we can participate, and have basketball courts built all across the state. And through your leadership and vision, it's just been outstanding. I mean, we've put courts from down on the bayou to northern Louisiana and everywhere in between, and we'll keep on doing it. And keep on supporting events like this rather, that help us, build these basketball courts and touch the community.
Well, it's exciting because we're fixing to cut the ribbon on court 11 and 12. One's in New Orleans, the other one's up in DeSoto Parish, which is a nice drive from here, just so you know. But I wanted to tell you thank you for your help, and Ms. Benson's participation has been great. But let's talk a little bit about the Pelicans. There's a lot of buzz. You've hired a whole new executive team. You got the #1 draft pick. I don't know how you arranged that one, but I know you'll take credit for it.
Absolutely. Now look, Miss Benson really, spoke to everyone and said, hey, being a leader, she said, very adamantly, we want to win a championship. And so let's build an organization that can deliver a championship for the our New Orleans market and Louisiana and our entire region. And, we took that to heart, and, sometimes you forget we were kind of new to basketball. We've only owned the team for, half a dozen of years or so. But, I think we've learned a lot. And what we do know is what the core values are, what are the things that do bring winning championships to your organization. We learned that on the basketball and football side, rather. And look, the bottom line is invest in whatever we have to invest to bring championship basketball to this region, and that was her edict to us, and we're trying to deliver that to her. So
well, look, it doesn't hurt winning the lottery. I mean, you almost had a better shot at seeing Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And to win, what went through your mind when that happened?
Man, I tell you, I was at home with my family, and everyone was going crazy. We were yelling so much. My son, who was actually studying for exams, came running in and thought we'd actually hit the Powerball, the real lottery, and I said it was better. We're going to get the #1 pick in the NBA draft, and so look, it just brought new life, freshness. Our staff is so excited. It's great for the city. It's great for organizations.
Well, I saw the video on YouTube of your staff. They went nuts, and I know you told me earlier this afternoon how many more season tickets y'all sold in that first week.
About 2,500. Yeah, and look, it's those people who are really on the front lines, who work so hard day in and day out to sell out that arena. And, just to see how excited they were, I mean, it makes us all feel good.
Well, let me just say this. As Louisiana State Treasurer, it's been a pleasure to work with you.
Same here.
Your passion and your honesty is great. You represent well.
Thank you.
And so let's finish with this. And you also are a New Orleanian.
Absolutely.
I know you're a Jesuit boy, but I won't tell them where you went to college. You want to tell everybody where you went to college?
No, I graduated. I got my MBA from Loyola. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a hint. It's red, and I think they call it crimson. So who you like in this game? It's 13-11.
It's 13-11, and
it's like a football game here.
And the House has a much deeper bench than the Senate does, and in the second half, I have to think the House is going to come through. But look, the Senate pulled it out last year, and I know the House has the lead on was it 11? I forget what I saw.
15-10.
15-10. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm pulling for just a good game. How about that?
Well, we'll see. I think the House is going to pull it out. Well, Dennis, thank you. Thanks to the organization.
Thank you.
Appreciate all you guys coming out to Baton Rouge, bringing Ms. Benson out for her second year in a row. So enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks for coming.
Can't wait.
Good stuff once again from Dennis Lasha, the team president for the New Orleans Pelicans, and of course of the New Orleans Saints as well. Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire as we're wrapping up our halftime activities from the Maravich Assembly Center. Close game here, Jason. We'll see who has more endurance to finish this one out.
No, I think that's right. I think the House has to use the amount of players they have, get up and down the court and try to tire the Senate out and, keep Rick Ward from getting hot.
Neil Amerson's also been hot for the House. We'll take a break. When we come back, second half action from inside the Maravich Assembly Center. We'll be back after this. Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire as we begin the second half of HoopLA 2019. The House in the red shirts, the Senate in the gray shirts, and Neil Amerson, they look to get him going right away, but he comes short on his shot. Ball on the ground. Mike Walsworth picks it up, nearly travels. Ted James has it now for the House.
Well, obviously, they came out firing, looking for Neil in the first set.
You'll have to pronounce his name.
Buriak. Ryan Buriak just obviously got good height, able to get in there, get the rebound. a new representative from Cameron Parish.
And we're all tied up at 13. And here's Neil Abramson with the basketball. Quick pass down low to Furiak.
Yeah, and he got fouled there.
And they're already saying travel.
It looked like Rick Ward may have pushed him.
No, see, still house ball.
Yeah, I think Rick Ward pushed him, called a foul. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Let's see right here, Neil Abramson fires a bullet right there, and then you can see Rick Ward bumped him right there, and I think they called the foul.
Abramson shot off the back iron, and the ball tipped out to F. King Alexander.
Well, that one looked good when it went. It was right from behind our vantage point here. And they also got Laverdane in there, new representative from Alexandria. He's got to be 6'3", 6'4", so some height down there in there for the house.
Rick Ward nearly loses it with tight defense from Ted James. Rick Ward along the baseline, but it won't go. And Buriak, the rebound. And here comes the house.
So this is where I think the house ought to push it a little bit, make them work more.
Good steal by Mike Walsworth.
Good hands there. Able to come up with it.
F. King Alexander over to Rick Ward. Rick Ward from the top of the key, short. Ted James.
And you know, the Senate too this year is missing one of their familiar faces in Wilson Fields, who normally comes and plays with them, as well as one of the justices from the Supreme Court, Justice Weiner.
Shot no good. Cameron Henry, the offensive board. And it still just won't go for the house. Walsworth had the rebound and then loses it, but it'll still be Senate basketball. And Cameron Henry to steal. Aberson can't leave him open. A nice pass to Ted James, but he missed the shot. Cameron Henry has it.
He's going to fire this one.
Aberson missed it. Gets his own rebound. Fires another one. Got that one.
Oh, he is. To say he hasn't been practicing, he may have been sandbagging a little bit, but Aberson's got some kids he probably goes out and shoots a little ball in the yard with.
House has a 2-point lead, under 17 minutes to go in the game. Down low, and here comes Cam Henry in the house.
Where they need to push it.
Henry's pass to Aberson, stolen by Rick Ward. F. King Alexander has it now. And the Senate looking to tie it up here with a bucket.
Yeah, they can't get any of their players back down the court. I can tell they're getting a little winded, giving them some time now to set up and see if they can run a play, catch their breath.
Well, that gives us time to send it back over to our sideline correspondents, Julie Emerson and Joe Marino. They have State Representative Royce Duplessis with them.
We have Representative Royce Duplessis from New Orleans, Louisiana.
How you doing, sir? Happy to be here.
What do you think about the game so far?
Well, yeah, I know New Orleans, but first we want to thank our partners, Cox, for facilitating this and making this thing happen. So thank you so much to Cox. Yeah, definitely.
What's it like out there? Is the Senate, are they playing fair, or are they just playing like the Senate?
Well, they're playing like the upper chamber, right? Like, you know, like they have this different process in place, and we just have to reconfigure our process. So we have more energy, we have more talent, we just have to harness it in a different direction. So they led in the first half, but that's turning around rapidly, as you can see with the score. But we're enjoying it. A lot of competition.
Now, Representative Duplessis, your district covers the home of the New Orleans Pelicans and the New Orleans Saints, correct?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, proud to have it in District 93, the Smoothie King Arena, as well as the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. My performance right now does not reflect that, so I gotta
You don't think you're going to be the #1 draft pick?
A lot can happen in the next couple of minutes. So, you know, I might be able to give Zion a run for his money. We'll see.
Now, look, you're in a starting lineup now, so, I mean, how many points do you have so far?
Well, it's not about points. You see, I'm not here for points.
So you don't have any points?
I'm here to facilitate.
Right, I'm here to facilitate. How many points are you going to score?
I'm not here for the points. It's about the win at the end.
All right, well, sit him down, Coach. We need the points.
There's no W in team.
Talking isn't going to win this game. We can't talk away into this win.
I think we're supposed to be impartial commentators, but we kind of got to be for the house, right?
I'm wearing red.
You're supposed to be on my team. I thought we were on the same team.
If you're not scoring, you're not helping.
Oh, well.
Well, home of the New Orleans Pelicans, Representative Duplessis' district. We appreciate it.
All right, thank y'all.
Thanks a lot to Representative Royce Duplessis. Mike Walsworth's shot from the outside is no good. Bradley Peacock had it rejected by Stefanski. And then out of bounds. Speaking of Royce Duplessis, there will be a brand new sign that will be posted in his district. Welcome to Who Dat Nation, right?
That's right. That's right.
One of the more popular bills of the legislative session.
Yeah, brand new legislators really come in and done a good job and begun to make a name for himself as a young legislator. And really, Jeff, this game is going to look so much different next year. You have, with term limits kicking in, you're losing, you know, about 40, 50 in the House, and you're going to lose about another 35% of them in the Senate. So, but you may have a lot of House members that'll be playing with the Senate next year.
Yes.
So.
Mike Walsworth wants a timeout. The Grizzly veteran.
And he was emphatic about it.
Saw something he didn't like. And so he calls the timeout. That gives us a chance to step away here with the House leading the Senate 15-13. We'll be back after this. (15-13) as you take a look at Senator Gerald Long there. Or no, that's not Gerald Long.
It's Larry Bagley.
Larry Bagley with Representative Beryl Amedee.
Beryl Amedee and Bagneris, and that's the coach there. Head of the security on the House side. Smoke is what they call him, Clarence Russ.
Walsworth from the corner misses the shot. Aberson digs it out of there for the House. Blows past Fred Mills. Off the glass, no good, and then Mills gets the rebound. Mills up ahead to Rick Ward. Ward to the rim, and there was contact there, but no whistle, and we're tied up.
And that's Rick Ward's game, going to the rack, challenging you, and laying it up and in. He's a big body down there and can jump.
Aberson's shot is air ball. Rick Ward takes it. So we're all tied up at 15 under 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting here.
F. King Alexander into the front court. House been playing man-to-man all day, but they leave F. King Alexander open, and the shot is no good.
On the floor for the House, you got Duplessis, Abramson, Stefanski, Henry, and Edmund Jordan.
Aberson finds his spot on the court and knocks it down.
Well, look, this is his last year, and he's term limited. And you mentioned somebody who knows that this is their last opportunity, may come out here and make a difference, and he sure has this year.
Fred Mills along the baseline, no good. Representative Stefanski, a nice rebound. House looking to extend their 2-point lead with 12 minutes to go. Cameron Henry looking for somebody. Gets it to Jordan. Aberson for three. Got it! Neil Aberson.
I tell you what, I can tell you who their Hurley MVP candidate may be, because he is lighting it up.
Cole Conrad double team. Aberson, Stefanski. Aberson nearly took it away, and there's a foul. Let's watch that three-pointer again from Neil Aberson.
And he walks right into this one, slow getting down the court, but I tell you what, he was sure as soon as he caught the ball, there was no hesitation. He knew what he was going to do, turn, shoot, and pop.
F. King Alexander, a quick shot, no good. Fred Mills getting the offensive rebound, and it's out of bounds to the House.
So the Senate's going to have to find some offense here. Somebody other than Rick Ward. Nobody's really gotten hot for them.
Representative Jordan to Representative Duplessis. Crossover dribble there by Duplessis, and he missed the shot. Rebound taken by Rick Ward.
All right, let's see if President Alexander can get going. He's had a couple shot attempts, hadn't been able to get them to fall for him.
Senate's only scored 2 points here in the second half. Rick Ward to F. King Alexander from way downtown. He missed that one. And Royce Duplessis, the nice rebound. Cut off by Rick Ward, now double team. It finds Representative Jordan. Royce Duplessis. Jordan with the ball fake. To Henry, no.
It's a good pass there. Just missed the little chippy right there at the end, but it was a good playmaking opportunity there.
F. King Alexander walks it up. Let's send it back over to Julie Emerson and Joe Marino. They have a state senator with them, and that's Norby Chabert from District 20.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Senator Norby Chabert from the great metropolis of Chauvin, Louisiana, right?
It's up a little cocky, but we're not going to get into that right now.
That's all right. So, the House is coming back a little bit. What do you think?
Well, I think they took the lead since I was waiting over here to be interviewed, so let's wrap this up quick. So
Yeah, that was the scheme, because obviously we're biased to the House.
We've seen a lot of great basketball in the PMAC, but this is not it.
I am, without question, one of the worst players to ever take the court in the PMAC, and I've had 10 tries to prove that.
And are you trying to go for more fouls and points here?
Well, they would call me a defensive specialist back down to buy it, but over here, it's just like, you know, foul till they miss.
I mean, I'm thinking that the referees here work in the Senate. Is that true?
I mean, I will neither confirm nor deny that some of them may be on a partial retirement plan as part-time sergeant at arms.
Well, half the team isn't on the Senate, so.
Well, I mean, you know, when you get to be our ages in the upper chamber, sometimes people need to go to bed early so they can wake up early, Jim Fannin.
Are you trying to get back out on the court? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I mean, you know, it looks like we're down by 5 since I come over here, so.
So they definitely need you?
Yeah,
I think pull that big kid out that's clearly not a senator.
Well, that's Senator Conrad Mizell from the North-South Shore.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Chabert. Get back out there. Back to you, Jeff.
Oh, boy. Sometimes they're quick on their feet. So taking a jab there at the obviously individual that's not in the Senate but using a senator's last name.
Senator Beth Mizell, who represents Franklinton and other areas of the North Shore. A whistle away from the ball here, 8:16 and counting. 5-point lead as the House is taking control of this game.
You got a new face checking in for the Senate. That's
Gary Smith.
And Matt Block, who's the governor's executive council, is new to this game. Again, the Senate also relies a lot on their score in previous years from Wilson Field, so they're kind of looking for that second or third option now.
Aberson misses one, a rare miss for him tonight. Out of bounds, who's at 2? They are going to say it's still House basketball.
How many timeouts do we have? You don't know?
3 from the outside, knocking it down, Stefanski.
Well, he finally got one to go. He'd been working at it all night. They hadn't been dropping, but that's a big one. It extends the lead there. 8-point
lead now for the Senate. Rick Ward around a Gary Smith screen. He is fouled by Royce Duplessis. Let's take a look at this 3 from Representative Stefanski.
Yeah, deep corner, has time to size it up. Good form there and knocks it down.
Neil Aberson picks up the loose basketball. Tried to get it up ahead to Royce Duplessis, stolen by Rick Ward. Matthew Block nearly traveled. Rick Ward won't go. And another rebound for John Stefanski. The runner off the glass and in. And a timeout called by the House as they are running away with this thing. Now up by 10 with 6:34 left to go. John Stefanski. Got the knee pads going. Nobody stops him. House in control. Welcome back to HoopLA 2019. Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire as the House has grabbed a 10-point lead with 6:34 left to go in the second half. Everyone having a good time here tonight at the Maravich Assembly Center. Let's send it over to Julie Emerson along with Joe Marino. They have State Representative Ted James from Baton Rouge with them.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jason. We're here with Representative Ted James from Baton Rouge. Ted, you look like you've been working hard. How's it going out there tonight?
Look, it's going good for the team. We're up by 10. We just got to bring it home.
Now, you've been known as one of the more active participants of this game. Been trying to recruit people as they've been coming into the legislature. You think we've gotten better over the years?
I'm a much better recruiter than I am a player, it seems.
Back in the day, you were a really good ball player.
look, it's all about teamwork. Now I've realized that with a few more pounds, a few more days, it's important to let the younger guys play.
Are you trying to go for that like Barkley look, or I mean like
James Harden?
James Harden.
That's right.
I hear you. Yeah, get in there and at least get 2 more points for this game, though.
I promise you I'll get 4.
Thank you, Representative James. Back to you, Jeff.
Ted James.
Yeah, one of the real key architects for the house side. He's one of the leaders, tries to get them to come to practice, work hard, and make sure that the house has an opportunity to prevail out here.
Well, Burl Amade has entered the game as the house is, they've kind of gone deep in their bench here. John Bagneris has entered the game as well.
Yeah, and I think what Coach Russ is trying to do is try to he's up by 10, making sure he can get everybody in the game. This is a good opportunity to do it.
Senator Gary Smith shot short. Norby Chabert missed it. And Edmund Jordan with the rebound.
But you see the one person he didn't take out of the game, Jeff, and that's Abramson. He's the one who's been firing them in for him.
Here's Representative Bagneris. Missed a 3 by a wide margin. It's kind of like bringing a bill to the House floor and losing by 40 votes.
That's right.
F. King Alexander over to Mike Walsworth. Walsworth, nobody stops him, but he misses the layup. And a foul there on our mysterious player, Cole Conrad. Let's take a look at Representative Bagneris.
Yeah, out of the New Orleans area. Look, he sees it. Why not take a crack at it? But just a little short.
They have a phrase in the Senate called the Bagneris rule when they want to discuss and vote non-controversial bills.
Yeah, and it speeds up the process.
They may need to call that shot the Bagneris shot or something. I don't know. Well, the Senate's ringer here hasn't been able to give them the offensive boost that I think they were hoping for, as Conrad misses both free throws. Mike Walsworth got the rebound, puts it up, no good. And here comes Lake Miguez.
And I think when everybody saw the Senate's secret weapon and his size and how young he was, they were worried, but so far they've kept him contained.
Amerson's shot is off. Here's F. King Alexander. The Senate has been stuck at 15 for a long time, and another air ball there.
And President Alexander's just struggling, can't get his, and normally he's a pretty good shooter. We've seen the last couple of years be able to knock something down. Just can't get it going tonight.
The House has called timeout.
Probably going to make some more substitutions. They've got 20 or so on their roster, so they got to keep substituting to get them in.
One of the star players for the upper chamber is State Senator Rick Ward, and Joe Marino and Julie Emerson are standing by with him.
#1 player in the game here.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Joe, pay attention.
Interview him as long as come on.
All right, there's a lot of House members over here who want us to keep Senator Ward for quite a while. How do you feel about that?
Well, I need to get back to the court, but I guess it's all part of it. We're a little short-handed today, so.
I think it's a compliment. I think they're saying you're a pretty good player on the other team.
Well, I guess so, but I don't know. That may say more about my team than me.
Before we let you back in there, tell us about all of your bills this session.
Yeah, so I've had a couple bills myself, but I think a lot of what I've been most excited about is what a lot of us have gotten together and co-sponsored. So a lot of it's been a big team effort. We've gotten the Uber Lyft bill through, which has been a big bipartisan effort across both chambers. And we also passed a big infrastructure project utilizing the BP oil spill money, and that was also a big bipartisan effort across both chambers. So that was what was most important to me going into this session, regardless of who the authors were. I think that was the two big wins for this session, if you ask me.
And what do you think about your team so far as your legal players?
Yeah, well, I think we've had a good team effort. We've been a little short-handed this year. We have a little age on us, but hey, it's all, yeah.
I just want to point out that
I didn't hear the question right.
3/5 of the team on the court right now are not senators.
The guy with no number on his back for no Senate district, that big guy right there.
Yeah,
he just has letters.
He's been a good addition, but considering the average age of the Senate, we have to do what we have to do.
You feel good about what you're doing?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the score, it's been marginal help, but we have to field the team no matter what we can do.
Are you the youngest member of the Senate?
I am, by quite a bit, but you know.
Are you a millennial?
I am a millennial.
Yeah, I heard they interviewed you the other day.
That's right. I think we both did one.
Yeah.
So.
You can't see his brand new shoes, but he's got some new Jordans. New Jordans.
That's right. Yeah. So look, I forgot my shoes today. I had to go to the store, and hey, why not? You know.
Do you think they're helping you play tonight?
I don't know. If you look at the score, you'd probably think otherwise.
All right, we're going to interrupt this broadcast, get you back in the game.
Okay, so Representative Marino and I might be a little bit partial to the House, and maybe we ask a few
He's got
too many
11 of their
questions on
points.
that.
We're going to keep him all
right.
night.
Yeah. Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. F. King Alexander to get it down low. The House really emptying their bench. Out there now is Stuart Moss.
Well, they had him out there for a minute, and then during that interview, they switched him out again. But Stuart Moss went out there, and Larry Bagley had an opportunity, Rodney Lyons, and then they've shuffled them back out, and they're kind of going back to their nucleus. Obviously, 3:30 left in the game. They want to try to finish this thing off.
Mike Waldsworth will inbound it here, send it down by 8. Rick Ward off the rim, no good, and House has a chance to run here. Ted James up ahead to Stefanski, who got fouled by F. King Alexander.
Probably a smart foul there. It was going to leave Stefanski there with an open layup, and instead of that, a swipe across the arm there, and see if Stefanski can complete his free throws here.
3 minutes to go, and once again, the money raised here tonight will help go refurbish a outdoor basketball court. This is the 11th year of HoopLA. This will be their 12th court. They'll be dedicating a couple of new courts here very soon, one in New Orleans East, another in DeSoto Parish. And 3 of the courts have been built in Point Capee Parish, 2 in New Orleans, 1 in St. Charles, another one in Ascension, a couple in Lafayette. It's all
just a random draw.
So
yeah.
That's
Point Capee has some good luck down over there, huh? They got the right people pulling for them to win it 3 of the years, you know.
They got the same luck as the Pelicans do to get the number 1 pick a couple times in this decade. Ted James the rebound.
That's smart to slow it down there and just back it up.
8-point lead, 2 minutes to go.
That's a lot here with 2 minutes, and clock is continuing to run. It's obviously favors the House here.
From way downtown, Stefanski missed it. Beryl Peacock with the basketball. Doesn't sense the time here in the game.
No, the Senate needs to be pushing it. They don't have this time to stall. A minute 30. And I just think they're blown, man. I think they're out of gas. A limited number of players.
Rick Ward is not going to go out without a fight.
He's working hard there. You also have to recognize the coach for the Senate, John Keller, as you see right there, tagging his guy, Senator Barrow Peacock. He does a good job trying to keep enough numbers for the Senate and recruit enough players to have out here.
Norby Chabert on the run doesn't really have the numbers. Not only do we have the basketball court or the basketball game happening here on the court, F. King Alexander's shot is no good, but behind us, it's the out-of-bounds bash, which is a reception, a silent auction. They got wine and a variety of foods donated by groups to include the Louisiana Troopers Association and the State Fire Marshal's Office. So those that are here not watching the game, having a chance to socialize a little bit.
Yeah, and real kudos to Treasurer John Schroeder, who helped start HoopLA, and now he's in the treasurer position. He stays very engaged in putting this together. It's organized real well.
Oh, get it out of there, said Rick Ward.
Getting a lot of sponsors for a worthy cause.
And Rick Ward with those new Jordans.
He is battering ram down there. He's going to play to that last second, play hard. There you go. The block coming from Bam. Representative Stefanski did not see that coming from behind him, but again, playing hard to the bitter end.
Ted James to bring it up here with 30 seconds to go to Royce Duplessis. A little Harlem Globetrotters there, but Representative Duplessis missed a layup. And Blake Miguez will lay it in, and that
we got Senators on the ground. That's Norby Chabert down, and I just think this year, look, they just ran out of gas.
Mike Waldsworth for one final time here before term limits. Oh, Ted James takes it away from him. And James, no good, but it doesn't matter. The House victorious here tonight as they defeat the Senate 27-17, and now the lower chamber has won 11 times versus the Senate during this great tradition here that is put on every year by members of the House of Representatives and state senators. And of course, the New Orleans Pelicans as well being a big part, and Cox Communications a big part of this event every year.
A good look there at Neil Abramson, and people kind of saying roughing him up there. He was a big factor here for the House tonight. He came out on fire and was probably the reason that the House is able to walk away with this one tonight.
These two chambers do play for a trophy. We'll come back and have the trophy presentation when we come back. There's your most outstanding player, Neil Abramson. Back here at the Maravich Center, Jeff Palermo and Jason DeQuire, the House of Representatives victorious this year in HoopLA 2019, defeating the Senate 27-17. And right now, State Treasurer John Schroeder, let's send it over to him, our master of post-game ceremonies right now.
So who's got the trophy? Oh, there's the trophy. Senator.
Only the second time in 5 years.
Well, all right, here it is. I think that's 16-10 now. All right. Just a quick reminder, the silent auction will close at 8:20, and it is 7:58. We set a record for time this year. All right, so now we're going to pick the court. So where's all my executives? Here they are. So look, I don't have the list of sponsors, but this is actually our 11th year of doing this, and we've got a fantastic turnout. I want to thank all our sponsors for coming. Certainly want to thank the New Orleans Pelicans and Cox Communications, who you can actually watch this on TV for the next 12 months. I want to thank my staff and all the unclaimed property shirts for coming out tonight, and all our other volunteers. All right, so Miss Sarah. Everybody knows Miss Sarah Allen with Cox Communications. Just say hey real quick.
Hey.
I am holding it in my hand, right? All right. The big court. You want to say it, Joe? I want to also thank Representative Joe Marino, who's taking this thing over. I'm going to retire, right, Joe?
No.
Come on, Joseph. Okay, Joe, we're gonna let Representative Marino say who's the big winner this year.
Well, it can't be me because I'm not in the contest. This year, the winner is Representative Gregory Miller.
Hey, there you go.
Congratulations.
You win too.
You know what? Do you know where your court is?
I have no idea, but I know it's going to be in a place that's needed, and we're very, very happy for this, and I'm very happy to be able to participate in this game for the last 8 straight sessions.
Nice pants, too.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I helped out my team by not playing. But thanks, Cox. Thanks to Pelicans organization, and thanks all of our.
And thanks to LSU for letting us be in the PMAC tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. the retired HoopLA chairman, who's not really involved in it anymore, John Schroeder.
Thank you, thank you. I said if I don't get reelected, I won't do it next year. You heard that, Matt Block? Matthew's going to help me with that. All right, so look, you got about 15 minutes for the silent auction, so don't run. Go spend some of that money. Thank y'all for coming out tonight.
All right, that will just about do it for HoopLA 2019, and congratulations to State Representative Gregory Miller, who represents the River Parish area, St. Charles, St. John the Baptist Parish. Somewhere in his district, there will now be a refurbished outdoor basketball court, and that's why we're here tonight. Such a great cause, and it's good to see these House and Senate members, after a tough session where a lot of hard decisions have to be made, and sometimes some feelings can get hurt. They can come together here tonight, release a little energy, play a little basketball, if you call it that, but more importantly, raise money, and there's going to be a new basketball court in the state of Louisiana.
Terrific that they do this, because they do have to work sometimes against each other on various items. But today and tonight, they came together for a good cause, you know, getting a court in one of the districts that's going to allow kids to get out there and play basketball in the neighborhood. And obviously this year, the House prevailed. It was tough on them last year. Came down to a missed free throw, and I knew they were thinking about that. And tomorrow, when they go back to work, the Senate's going to have to march over to the House and deliver the trophy, and that's going to be where all the fun is.
Final score again, the House defeated the Senate 27-17. So the House now leads the all-time series 11-6. Want to thank everyone involved in the broadcast, our producer Cameron Galloway, our sideline correspondents Julie Emerson and Joe Marino, all the lawmakers that were involved, the New Orleans Pelicans, Cox Communications. For Jason DeQuire, I'm Jeff Palermo. Thanks for watching HoopLA 2019.